I saw a recent video that mentioned that acupuncture is demonic. In this video, I would like to stress that acupuncture is really not a demonic practice. It has been around for thousands of years in ancient Chinese culture and practice. How it works is that it actually put the needles on specific meridian points to rebalance the energy imbalances in the body. Even Tai Chi, even the same practice as with Tai Chi and Qigong. And in my opinion, it is the best way to restore health. These kind of practice are not demonic because we have energy flowing into us through the energy of breath. If you do meditation, you don't have to actually focus on any mantra or any word. You just be conscious of your breath. Just your breath. You just follow your breath, incoming and outgoing. And after a while practicing it, means you're not looking in other things, just the in-breath and out-breath. After a while, you will notice how the breath energy travel around your body and how you have energy fields and how sometimes you can control and manage pain with the breath. If you are proficient enough in the breath meditation, you can use the breath to heal the body. And when it goes into the body, people call it qi or whatever. There are other names in it. But you can use it because this breath energy drives the nutrition, drives the blood flow. It really makes a difference through the using. This is nothing demonic, nothing supernatural at all. Today, even with technology, they can capture aura fields of people. And they see that people have the different aura, different colors around them. And from there, they can diagnose quite accurately if the person is healthy or ill or depressed or something like that. So these are all, is nothing like demonic about it. This is just that we have energy flowing around us. And if you just a little conscious and the attention is inwards, you will yourself will feel it. I feel quite sad because in that video, I saw in the comments, some of the people were actually even on the way to go for acupuncture treatment because they have so much of pain for so many years. And after seeing the video, they actually canceled the appointment. So the person who actually make the video, I mean, if you cancel, then you will have to find other ways to manage the pain. Some people have chronic pain. And I see across in different forums that people who have illness like autoimmune motor neuron diseases, they try acupuncture and it does help to a certain extent, can relieve the pain and spasm. You see, when you do acupuncture, when they pass the needles, nowadays with modern technology, they also pass a very, very small current through the needle to make the healing more effective, more intense. So you see that when the small current is passed through, there will be muscle spasm, but there is nothing supernatural about it. It is just the movement of qi along the body. For elderly, especially for elderly, for people with chronic pain, for elderly people who have falls, this is the most effective treatment. I would like to share with you my mom's experience. My mom had a fall in 2017. And that fall was, she had a lot of pain. She was yelping in pain literally the whole day, you know. So we took her to ER. And after waiting and agonizing 10 hours in the ER, the doctor told us basically there's nothing they could do because she did not have any fracture. The x-ray shows that she had an old hairline fracture from an old injury. Otherwise, they couldn't find anything wrong because if you go to hospital, they can only operate. It's only either operate or something if there's something wrong. If there's nothing wrong, they send back with painkillers. But my mom was still in a lot of pain, and I don't foresee that she can take painkillers for a long time. So what I did is that eventually I went to Google to do a search, and I found one traditional Chinese medicine center that is near my area. I needed to take her to a private center whereby we don't really have to wait, because if we have to wait, I know that there's one that you have to wait. And he's very good. He's been doing it for 20 years. My mom won't have it. So I took that, and the Chinese physician saw us immediately, and she administered acupuncture. Immediately after the first treatment, her pain was reduced tremendously. And then through second, and I think by the third treatment already, she's pain-free. But on and off, I still take her for follow-up treatment in the acupuncture center, but it's very less because she doesn't really like the needles. So that really, really helped to relieve her pain. But the fact that she was willing to go, at first, of course, we had to take her, like she was very reluctant and she was making noise, she was fighting. Most of the time, she already had symptoms of early Alzheimer, which she was a bit combative. And then when we took her for the treatment, right, because the pain went down so much, so she became quiet and she was willing to go for the second and third treatment, and it really helps. If you see whatever that help, if we don't do it, the pain, then if you think that there's something no good, then you will have to continue to live with the pain, which is a real torture. What I learned from my experience is, just like what my mother said, the words of wisdom is very true. The good and evil actually comes from us. So your thoughts, your words, your action, if they are good, they are wholesome, then nothing outside really can really influence you, And this is a form of healing. If you are worried about it being demonic or anything, you can say a prayer when the needles are being inserted. If a person who have the virtue and the development and faith, right, they will always have protection. So this thing won't be able to, you have to understand that nothing external can really mess us up if, let's say, internally we are strong. If the thing come, and really I myself have tried acupuncture before, I really don't, and I'm a meditator, so I don't feel there is anything wrong when the current is passing through our body. It's really, really an effective treatment. Another thing I want to cover is about Tai Chi, Qigong, Guaidan and all these exercises. They is also being said by some sector that this is so demonic. It's not. It's triggering of the Qi. Actually, my mother, after she had cancer, the tonsil cancer, for about 23 years ago, she had tonsil cancer. Then after she recovered sufficiently, she had enough energy, my neighbor actually recommended that she go for Qigong based, we call it Dan Gong or Wai Dan Gong exercises. So we had one near our area. One instructor was teaching it, and they teach it for free in the park. In the park, recreational park. So she asked my mother to go. And my mother did it for more than 10 years, this exercise. Daily, they just go for the Qi, the practice. It's very, very beneficial. It's really, really nothing demonic about it. That instructor himself was actually he had heart bypass and he had heart problems. And so he's the founder of this Wai Dan Gong in Malaysia, in one of the movement in Malaysia. He had a problem, so he learned from a teacher that came from Taiwan, and he learned Wai Dan Gong, and that helped him to manage his heart problem. My instructor was in his 80s when he taught us the Wai Dan Gong. He was perfectly healthy. He was driving around, and even his cardiologist was impressed and actually got him to go to the hospital to do a demonstration of this Wai Dan Gong. So it does help. But then what happened was that one day my mother was crossing the road when she snuck out for her hospital visit, because normally we accompany her, but that time she decided she wanted to go on her own and she never told us. So while we were away at work, she snuck out, and then at the traffic light she had a fall. And then fortunately, a guy rushed out and carried her to safety. Otherwise, she may have been run over by the motorcycles, because that road was one of the busiest roads in the city. So after the fall, it became very painful for her to do this qi-based exercise, so she stopped. After she stopped the exercise, I already have a bad feeling that she stopped these exercises because daily, a lot of the symptoms she had actually went into remission when she was doing these exercises. But 2 or 3 years after she stopped, right, then she started developing acute hepatitis. Her acute hepatitis, and she started showing signs of dementia, means that the dementia was progressing very quickly. Originally, she was just forgetful, she was just like the normal forgetful, but her intellectual, she's very intact. Because when you balances the qi in the body, if there's a movement of breath and circulation in the body, then there's no stagnancy. This is what these exercises are doing. As I mentioned, if you are a meditator, right, and you just follow on your breath, and eventually when you start practicing, you realize that the breath energy actually flow to the rest part of your body, and you feel that there is a movement. There's nothing supernatural about it. It's just how our physical is being built up that medical science have not discovered, but the Chinese have discovered thousands of years ago. Because when you go into this kind of exercises, qigong and all this, you quiet down your mind. When you quiet down your mind, right, a lot of things you can see clearly. So within a short 2-3 years, when she stopped the exercise, problems start to happen. So today she already is end-stage Alzheimer. One of my biggest regret is that when I didn't force her, she would have refused to go for, at that point of time when she have the fall, she have refused to go for acupuncture treatment, and I should have insisted, But my mom, she was a very determined and stubborn lady, so it was difficult. It's only after a few years later, when she had the liver cirrhosis and acute hepatitis, she was all yellow with jaundice and it just flare up. And then after that, 2 months later, she had the fall. It was when I was able to take her for the treatment. But at that point of time, of course, the treatment is not ongoing and she's not doing the exercises on her own. That's why her condition degenerate. Had she continued with the exercise, I believe that it will be able to help her for a long time, because she had been over 10 years after her cancer, after her tonsil cancer. She also have hepatitis, chronic hepatitis, which I suspect came from the blood transfusion, because during that point of time, they don't screen the blood when they're doing the transfusion. So she had chronic hepatitis already, and everything was under control with Tai Chi and with all this breath exercise. That we should never underestimate. Some people make fun of Tai Chi, make fun of Qigong, but if you do it, you will know. I myself, she managed to convince me to go for Wai Dan Gong exercises in the morning before I go to work. I used to have explosive sinus, very bad sinus, which I couldn't do anything about it. I would sneeze the whole day. So on the days that I go to the Wai Dan Gong practice, and activated my qi and the circulation flow, so there's not stagnancy inside my body, right? I don't get any sinus. So if you have bad sinus, asthma, and all these issues, right, Wai Dan Gong, Qi Gong, Tai Chi is going to be very helpful because it's breath. So if you practice and you experience it, you're not invoking anything, you're just conscious of the movement inside the body. Nothing really demonic, nothing bad about it. You're just conscious that there is the movement of energy, the shift of breath energy in your body is your own body that you're being conscious of. So if you really, really practice, then you will understand. This is the Tai Chi, Wai Dan Gong, Qigong is the best form of preventive exercise and for maintaining good health. Whereas for acupuncture, when it comes to chronic pain that especially is very good chronic pain and elderly that have fall, if you don't want your loved one to the condition to degenerate, to go down further, because if they can't move, eventually they will be bedridden. They will be bedridden and you will have a lot more problems in your hand. So if with the acupuncture treatment, it will help to relieve the pain. You can try and see whether it works. They cannot go for more. Because in terms of pain, right? Sadly to say, nothing much Western medicine is able to offer except to take painkillers. And also, if let's say there's a broken bone or dislocation, then the surgery will fix it. Otherwise, in terms of chronic and unexplainable pain, you have to seek out alternative treatment. That's what I did. I have a lot of pain during work also. That's what I did. But for me, it was acupuncture, chiropractor, and wet acucupping is what that helped me to manage the pain. So I hope that this video helps. I help to shape your understanding. Really, it's nothing really. I've tried it before. There's nothing wrong with this kind of treatments and this kind of exercises at all. Thank you.